All right, Dungeon Deck 2. Okay. All right, Dungeon Deck 2 includes the rest of the Dungeon Deck cards. We have our first big block of bad guy spells, or spells. We have monster skills. And then, of course, you've got the main event here, right? So this includes a host of new upgrades for your dungeon monsters. Typically, you get some gear, modifies their profile, lets you spawn skeletons out of dead goblins, things like that. You've also got mini bosses that have been added to this deck. You have wizards, you have druids, okay? You got necromancers. You have the ability to modify like the clan of the abomination types that are there. So all of the bipedal fish and amphibious monsters, right? They're all abominations. And we have a lot of different variants here. We've got the Deepkin, we've got the Salt Marsh Bullywargs, which are bullfrog abominations. We've got the Piranha Men abominations, right? And they all have different styles and things that they can do. So these are all upgrades or enhancements. We got our first boss monster, the Hydra Kraken. This thing will come stock with skills and a spell. Right, it's all on the card there. You got your undead stuff. You have a surprise attack that turns into a monster when you're done. More support, exploding skeletons, all kinds of great stuff here. More mini bosses, more boss monsters, and of course more wandering nightmares. So wandering nightmares, we worked them into something kind of like the Tyrant from Resident Evil, right? Where instead of it's just another orc or it's just another zombie, it's the same bad guy that you just keep knocking down and keeps getting back up and following you around. Okay. And then we got a few more dangerous environment cards, and these are all elemental themed. Okay. Well, what about monster skills? Monster skills more or less represent like physical attributes like tentacles or a tail, or they'll chomp down on you with a shark bite, leathery wings, or deadly claws. Okay. These are going to translate across multiple monster types throughout the Dreadening. So as you build your Dreadening collection, you'll pick these up. Spells. This is our first big spell pack that comes in the Dungeon Deck 2. You've got some new druid spells, or variants of druid spells. These are usable by the Marsh Druid that is in here, and these are learnable by a druid class during hero creation. Right? You've got your Book of the Dead, your necromancy spells. Shaman spells and monster spells are monsters only unless you have the ability to learn that stuff. But otherwise, Book of Water. This is learnable by a mage or a wizard during hero creation. You have the Book of Air, the Book of Arcana. Typically these are old bad guy spells, but they now are part of a generic magic elemental book. You have our first shadow spell, monster spell. You have some more shaman spells, summon orcs, burning rage, right? And then you have the Book of Flame. So these are just standard fire spells that can be learned. Okay. That is Dungeon Deck 2.